Hey friends, hey therapist friends, and hey to my people who think therapy is just about asking, how does that make you feel? Welcome back to Mindful Chatting, and today I'm gonna pull back the curtain. We're talking about what people think therapists do versus what we actually do. Because I promise you, it's not just sitting on a couch nodding while you cry. It's deeper, it's harder, and it's more sacred than you realize. So grab your comfort drink. Let's go. So I know many of you, especially if you're not in therapy, have this classic picture of what therapy and possibly a therapist looks like. And let me guess, you're thinking of a leather chair, a calm voice, someone asking you, how does that make you feel? A few head nods, and boom, enlightenment. And that's really cute, especially for TV. But it's not actually what we do. Real therapy is actually kind of messy. It's layered, it's really complex, and in the room we're doing a lot more than it actually looks like. We're tracking your body language, your facial expressions, your voice tone. We're paying attention to patterns in your story. We're holding your trauma while you're regulating your own nervous system so you don't have to manage ours too. We're making sure you're safe enough to feel uncomfortable, but not unsafe. We're managing time, we're pacing, and our emotional weight, all at once. On top of all of that, we have to keep all of your backstory in place while you bring us new content and new information to work with. Sometimes we're watching you break open emotionally while trying to keep ourselves steady enough to help you rebuild whatever just got broken. But I want to pull back the curtain about what you don't see. And it's usually the part where you leave and you're not around. Because when you leave, you think that we don't think about you until you show up on our schedule again, which I'm telling you right now is not true. I want to talk about some of the things that we might do after sessions, not with just you, but with our other clients too. We cry after sessions. Sometimes the things that we were told, the stories and the exposure in your session, we're doing such a great job of holding space for you and really pushing back all of our emotional weight in that 53 to 60 minute hour, that sometimes it's too much. And when you leave and that door closes, we cry because it's a lot. We cry for you. Sometimes we cry for ourselves, or sometimes we cry for that person that was abused or that story that you told us. And trust me, we think about you when you leave, and not in an obsessive, stalkerish type way. But we worry about how you're doing in between sessions. We think about you. We think about how you're going to approach your problem that you just told us about. We think about how you're going to manage your week. We think about things that we wish we had said, and we think about how we'll try something different the next time. We constantly question ourselves if we were enough in that session. We carry you with us. When we go to conferences or sign up for trainings, when we hear all of this information in the lectures, we're listening and we're thinking about you and how do we help you with this information that was given to us. We pick out that trauma course or that neurodivergence seminar because we want to actually be better for you. And deep down, we're constantly asking ourselves, am I doing enough? Did I miss something? Could I have been better for them today? We hold your pain, and sometimes it hurts us, and we'll still choose to do it and show up for each session. And for the people who aren't in therapy and why sometimes people think that therapy is just advice giving, you don't come to therapy for advice. You come to feel seen, to feel heard, to be known by another individual. You come for clarity, regulation, grounding, expansion of yourself. You come to be witnessed without being fixed. And that is the real work we do. We aren't just listening. We're reflecting, we're integrating, redirecting, we're grounding, we're validating, and we're helping you rewire how you once experienced the world. That is actual clinical work. And it's personal. And it's really powerful. If you're a client, here's what I want you to know. Not just a client of mine, but just a client in general who's going to therapy. If you've ever wondered if therapy is working, if you've ever questioned whether your therapist actually cares about you, let me say this with my whole heart. We care very deeply. You are not just a name on our calendar. You are a human being we think about when you're not in the room with us. We root for you. We reflect on your story. And yes, we sometimes tear up in the car after you leave. We think about you. And trust me, it's all for the clinical work. So all of that is great. But let me also give you more of a glimpse behind the curtain about the things that we do that nobody really gets to see. And I'm going to be honest when I say this, I don't know a therapist who likes this part of the job. Because even in all those hard, painful parts in therapy and all of the times that we think about you, we actually like that part. I know it sounds masochistic for sure, but this is the stuff that we actually don't like behind your 53 to 60 minute session. And in between those short little bursts of 5 to 10 minute window that we actually might get for ourselves, we're running to the bathroom, we're probably shoving something down our throat, we're probably gulping water, but on top of that, we're doing case notes. We're writing up what we freaking did in the session with you, if we can even remember it sometimes. And we're doing insurance crap. Ugh, it's terrible. We're also crisis planning. We're also consulting with other providers because we do think about you. And sometimes we need to consult. Did I do everything? And that deep reflection about whether we did enough, we said too much, or missed something important, we're doing all of that. But sometimes when we walk away from a session, we can feel like rock stars. Sometimes we feel like we did it. We nailed it. We hit that out of the park. But then sometimes we leave feeling wrecked. But you don't see that. And that's okay, because you're not supposed to. Because the therapy is supposed to be about you. But I'm just trying to get you a glimpse to see the person that's sitting in the chair from across from you. I think being a therapist, we know how hard being in that chair across from us is. How nerve-wracking and how brave it is to sit there. Because sometimes it's hard to say the scariest thing that you've ever said out loud to someone. And sometimes it's just gently us calling you out because your growth requires discomfort. And that's why you're here. You're here to get a little uncomfortable. And sometimes we're just holding the belief that you're not broken when you don't even believe it yourself. Because that's what we really do. We hold space for you to be you. Trust me, we're not magical. We're not perfect. But we're doing this work with everything we got. So the next time someone says, therapists just listen, they don't really do anything, I want you to send them this episode. And if you're a therapist listening, you are doing more than enough. And I see you. You're allowed to be human and messy and self-reflective and still be helping people heal. This work is sacred, and you're sacred too. Share this episode with someone who needs to understand the depth behind the title, therapist. I want you to tag a fellow healer, DM it to a client who might not know how much you care. And if you're a client, thank you for trusting us. We don't take that lightly. Thanks for being here with me today, and I'll see you next time on Mindful Chatting.